Welcome back to APUSH in under 3 minutes. No time for intros, let's get into it. So it's truly time to examine the causes of the Civil War. At this point, every compromise about slavery has flopped. The Missouri Compromise? Gone. The Compromise of 1850 made things worse. So now let's look at the final attempts to hold this broken country together and how they spectacularly failed. The Kansas-Nebraska Act got passed, which allowed those states to freely vote on whether they wanted to allow slavery or not. And the funny part, that whole Missouri Compromise line from earlier, it didn't matter anymore because Nebraska was well above that line. But what you should know about this act is it caused thousands to pour into these states to vote for their own side, which led to what is called Bleeding Kansas, where everyone fought in the streets and killed each other over votes in Kansas. One of the people famous here was an absolutely insane man named John Brown, who was against slavery and staged a slave rebellion at Harper's Ferry before being killed by the expertise of Robert E. Lee. The chaos of Bleeding Kansas and the spread of slavery enraged anti-slavery Northerners, leading to the formation of the Republican Party in 1854. But now that we have all this, let's contextualize and envision the world right now. We know from the Constitution that the US needs 3 branches of government to function, so let's look at each of them right now. First, the executive. Leading up to the Civil War, we see a collection of weak presidents that did nothing truly notable to address the issue of slavery. Okay, so the executive branch is a no-go, but let's try the legislative. Well, here in the Senate, Charles Sumner gave a speech against slavery, which caused a Southern congressman named Preston Brooks to beat him within an inch of his life with a cane. Okay, so the legislative is a bust, but as long as we have the Supreme Court, Dred Scott v. Sanford. God damn it. This case established that slaves were not citizens and Congress could not ban slavery in Southern territories. So we have the executive branch being weak. We have people caning each other on the Senate floor and the legislative, and deplorable, sadistic rulings by the Supreme Court. When you look at it this way, it honestly is hard to think a war couldn't have broken out. And I'll end this video with a quote from the most sane, reasonable, level-headed guy I can think of, John Brown. Right before he died, he said, quote, "I am now quite certain that the crimes of this guilty land will never be purged away but with blood." And guess what? He was right, because the Civil War started less than 2 years later. On the screen now are some AP style questions for this topic. Pause now. I'll put the answers on the screen now. I will see you in the next one.